Crypto isn't just built on innovation. It's built on scars. It has created fortunes, but it has also burned billions. And yet, from the ashes of every collapse came something priceless. Lessons. Lessons that reveal where the risks hide and how true resilience is forged. In this video, we're counting down the top 10 crypto disasters, the collapses, scams, and hacks that shook the blockchain to its core. Not to spread fear, but to make sure the next generation of builders, investors, and believers never repeat the same mistakes.
Maybe he was going to fake his death. Maybe he actually died. I don't know.
That's another good question.
By 2018, Quadriga CX had become Canada's largest cryptocurrency exchange. It promised security, ease, and a new way to manage your money. Thousands trusted it to buy, sell, and store Bitcoin and Ethereum.
I created Quadriga CX in 2013, and we basically are now the largest exchange in Canada for buying and selling Bitcoin. Congratulations. So for those of you who aren't familiar with Bitcoin exchanges and what we do, I like to compare it to a stock exchange.
But in December 2018, everything changed. News broke that Gerald Cotton, the 30-year-old CEO, had died suddenly while traveling in India.
Now, the CEO of one of Canada's biggest cryptocurrency exchanges died while he was on a trip to India.
Death of the CEO in India.
Millions of dollars invested in his Bitcoin exchange.
$1 million worth of cryptocurrencies locked up
by an inability to access some encrypted devices.
Vanished with him.
And no one can get to them.
Canada's largest cryptocurrency exchange is in hot water.
Customers watched helplessly as their assets became inaccessible. The cold wallets, the ones Cotton alone could access, were empty, and they had been drained months before his death. What was once a tragedy began to look like a long con. Lawsuits followed. So did documentaries, investigations, and endless theories. Quadriga CX became a painful reminder. When one person holds all the power, it only takes one failure to bring everything down.
2 hours ago, Bybit experienced a hack around 401,000 Ethereum. As far as we know, this could be the largest hack in the history of our industry.
On February 21st, 2025, Bybit, the world's second largest crypto exchange, suffered the largest crypto theft in history. Hackers stole approximately 401,000 ETH, worth $1.5 billion, from a cold multi-signature wallet supplied by Safe Wallet. Investigations revealed North Korea's Lazarus Group, also known as Trader, was behind the breach. By compromising a developer's system with phishing, they injected malicious JavaScript into the Safe interface.
Stolen almost £1.2 billion worth of cryptocurrency in what could be the largest theft of its kind. The Dubai-based cryptocurrency exchange Bybit says that someone gained control of an Ethereum digital wallet.
Bybit acted quickly. With help from Galaxy Digital, Wintermute, and other partners, the shortfall was covered, and user balances were restored within 72 hours. The lesson? Big exchanges may reimburse, but prevention will always beat damage control.
2021, Turkey's crypto community was shaken by one of the largest exchange scandals in history. Thodex was among Turkey's biggest exchanges, serving nearly 400,000 users and processing billions in trades. But in April 2021, the platform abruptly shut down. Its CEO, Faruk Fatih Özer, vanished, allegedly fleeing to Albania with as much as $2 billion in investors' crypto. The disappearance sent shockwaves through Turkey. Market panic spread, thousands filed legal complaints, and regulators rushed to tighten oversight of crypto platforms. The lesson is clear. Even major platforms are not immune. In crypto, trust must be earned, never assumed.
2 and 1!
Real battles! What I want you to really think about tonight is who you really are, why you're here.
Every Ponzi scheme has a wolf, and this one seems to have a very big wolf. In this scheme, millions of people have lost billions of dollars internationally.
In 2017, a name echoed through the crypto world, BitConnect, a platform that promised the impossible 1% profit every single day. The secret? A trading bot that never lost. At least that's what they claimed. BitConnect exploded. Referral programs, hype videos, stage promotions, and one name kept echoing louder, BitConnect. But behind the scenes, cracks were forming. There was no bot, no magic strategy, just a classic Ponzi scheme. New money paying the old.
Almost everything that you had?
That was everything we had. Not almost, it was everything we had.
So
we're all sort of very emotional, as you can imagine, about this. Going from anger to tears is just devastating.
$2.6 billion vanished, just like that. Lawsuits followed, promoters were arrested, regulators cracked down hard, and the community? Shaken, burned. The dream, gone. In crypto, there are no guarantees. If it sounds too good to be true, it is.
Agencies could come and find me, but I couldn't tell them where she was because I don't know where she is. The 5-star life that she had before, that lifestyle does not go with disappearing. I have a theory or a hypothesis that she no longer lives.
From 2017 to 2019, OneCoin promised to be the next great cryptocurrency revolution. It claimed cutting-edge tech, a global payment system, and life-changing returns. But behind the curtain, there was no blockchain, no functioning wallets, just a massive Ponzi scheme. Over the years, it drained an estimated $4 billion from investors across the globe.
It's really a pleasure for me to be here 1.5 years after we launched our cryptocurrency. The sky really is the limit for us. We want to be the #1 cryptocurrency out there.
I've been approached and people saying, oh, does OneCoin have a blockchain? Or is it true? Is there no blockchain? What happened? Yes, OneCoin definitely has a blockchain.
We indeed have a blockchain.
Ruja Ignatova, the self-styled crypto queen, vanished in 2017.
Notorious cryptocurrency scammer. Dr. Ruja Ignatova made billions of pounds selling a fake cryptocurrency called OneCoin.
Ignatova founded and ran one of the largest Ponzi schemes in history, peddling a fake cryptocurrency called OneCoin and raking in billions of dollars.
10 most wanted fugitive list will draw attention to her and her alleged crimes.
Flamboyant founder of fake cryptocurrency OneCoin, Ruja Ignatova, is the world's most wanted woman.
But now she sits side by side on the top 10 list with cartel leaders, kidnappers, and murderers.
She remains at large, one of the FBI's most wanted fugitives. It gives only one lesson to people in crypto: always verify the tech behind the token. If it's too good to be true, it probably is. OneCoin wasn't a cryptocurrency, it was a con.
In 2022, a $45 billion implosion triggered a historic chain reaction and ended in a cascade of bankruptcies. Three Arrows Capital, Celsius Network, Voyager Digital, all toppled in rapid succession. What began as overconfidence turned into contagion. Three Arrows Capital, once a giant hedge fund, bet big on Luna. When Luna crashed, their borrowed billions went up in smoke. Over $10 billion evaporated. Creditors demanded repayment, but the founders vanished. Next, Celsius. The platform promised sky-high yields, up to 18%. But behind the scenes, it funneled user funds into risky investments, including Luna and loans to 3AC. When the losses piled up, Celsius froze withdrawals, knocking away $1.2 billion in user assets. Voyager Digital was next. It had lent $650 million to 3AC, unsecured. When 3AC defaulted, Voyager was left holding the bag, withdrawals halted, bankruptcy declared, millions of users stranded again.
This is the third major crypto company to file for bankruptcy in recent weeks, and the latest fallout in these markets as prices drop and the industry faces a liquidity crunch. We reported last night that Celsius had started notifying state regulators that it was filing. It comes a month after Celsius froze accounts for what it says is 1.7 million customers, blaming extreme market conditions at the time. CEO Alex Mashinsky now saying in a statement, "This is the right decision for our community and company." According to the failure of a cryptocurrency Luna, then the dominoes started falling. Three Arrows Capital, once a $10 billion hedge fund, has really been at the center of this. It's also going through bankruptcy, defaulted on multiple loans to some of the companies listed here. You've also got Voyager, another bankruptcy, FTX, and BlockFi on the list as well.
Crypto brokerage Voyager Digital has filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection.
Markets are very volatile. Again, we had higher than expected inflation. That caused the markets to be volatile, and obviously crypto is always more volatile than the market. So we've seen major drawdowns in crypto, including the failure of Terra.
Big stories at the moment. First, that liquidation of Three Arrows Capital. A source telling me yesterday that the company is in the liquidation process. Teneo has been brought on board to deal with the process. They're in.
One failure fed the next. Terra's collapse, 3AC, Celsius, Voyager, each firm exposed to the others, the Bitcoin price plunged, and trust in centralized crypto platforms shattered. This wasn't just a market crash, it was a systemic failure.
The first days that it was operational, you had this attacker who came in and managed to take advantage of the contracts in the way that basically siphoned about half of the money into an account under the control of the attacker.
In 2016, Ethereum was young, a bold experiment, a vision of a decentralized future where code ruled, not corporations. Then came the DAO, the Decentralized Autonomous Organization, a revolutionary idea, a venture fund with no CEO, no boardroom, no borders. Over 11,000 people believed in it. In just weeks, they poured in $150 million worth of ETH. Then, June 17th, lone attacker strikes. The flaw, a single line of code. Reentrancy, a smart contract loophole that allowed recursive withdrawals over and over and over. ETH began draining. Fast. $60 million gone. 3.6 million ETH vanished into the shadows. The Ethereum dream was unraveling. Ethereum stood at a crossroads. One path: leave the hack untouched, let the code, even flawed code, stand. The other: intervene, rewrite the chain, and rescue the stolen funds. A hard fork was proposed. On July 20th, it went live. Ethereum split in two. The forked chain became Ethereum, ETH. The untouched version became Ethereum Classic. Two chains, two philosophies, one community. The lesson echoed. Smart contracts don't forgive. Code must be flawless, or the consequences are brutal. Mt. Gox wasn't just another exchange. It was the exchange, handling 7 out of every 10 Bitcoin trades worldwide. If you wanted to buy or sell Bitcoin, chances were you did it through Mt. Gox. Then, in a flash, it was gone. 850,000 Bitcoin vanished.
Mt. Gox, once the world's biggest Bitcoin exchange, filed for bankruptcy protection on Friday, saying it may have lost all of its investors' virtual coins due to hacking into its faulty computer system.
Well, we are working on it, but anyway, in the meantime, we are sorry for the troubles caused by this.
Today, Mt. Gox, the world's former largest Bitcoin exchange, filed for bankruptcy in Japan. The company applied for bankruptcy protection with $64 million in debt.
The sudden closure of Mt. Gox, one of the world's biggest Bitcoin exchanges, could cause losses of more than $350 million US.
Investors around the world were furious. In Tokyo, people gathered outside Mt. Gox's office, demanding answers, demanding their money back. But the truth was brutal. The coins were gone, and recovery seemed impossible. The impact was seismic, sparking global calls for regulation. Out of the rubble came one lesson. Simple, but critical. Not your keys, not your coins. This wasn't just a catchy slogan. It became the survival mantra of crypto.
Very excited to introduce you to Sam Bankman-Fried.
He had this way of making everyone really want him to succeed. He was this person who was incredibly smart. He was ambitious.
He was well pedigreed. He had gone to MIT. So that combination of things is a pretty interesting thing.
FTX wasn't just another exchange. It was the darling of the crypto world. In just 3 years, it went from a dorm room idea to a global powerhouse, backed by celebrities.
Getting into crypto with FTX. You in?
It's FTX. It's a safe and easy way to get into crypto.
I don't think so.
Trusted by millions, and led by the quirky, seemingly brilliant Sam Bankman-Fried. SBF promised safety, transparency, a new era for finance. But behind the charm, the truth was darker. In secret, billions in customer deposits were funneled into his own trading firm, Alameda Research. And suddenly the empire looked like a house of cards. The illusion was over. Fear turned to panic. Billions drained from FTX in days. Dashboards froze, charts plummeted, a liquidity death spiral. Within a week, FTX was bankrupt. $8 billion, gone, without a trace. Weeks later, Sam Bankman-Fried was arrested in the Bahamas. A spectacular fall, from crypto king to accused criminal, facing charges of fraud, conspiracy, and money laundering.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that's who I am at all, but I understand why they're saying that. People lost money, and people lost a lot of money. And
it's Sam Bankman-Fried has been sentenced to 25 years for what's been called one of the biggest financial crimes in US history.
Bankman-Fried was crypto's golden boy. He was the founder of the FTX cryptocurrency exchange, where customers could come trade their dollars and their pounds for cryptocurrency. And he assured those customers, as his FTX crypto exchange was collapsing, that their money was safe. But when customers went to withdraw their funds in November 2022, the funds were not there. And
Sam Bankman-Fried's regret. 3 days after he was sentenced to 25 years in federal prison, the man behind one of the biggest financial frauds in American history told ABC News he never intended to hurt anyone or take anyone's money. But he did take money, a lot of it. Bank said, "I never thought that what I was doing was illegal, but I tried to hold myself to a high standard, and I certainly didn't meet that standard."
The FTX collapse was more than a scandal. It was a warning. Even the biggest names can be rotten inside.
Really can't be understated, right? This event is probably the most destructive wealth event in the history of crypto.
Do Kwon promised a revolution. Terra USD, or UST, would be the first truly decentralized stablecoin, pegged to the US dollar, backed not by cash, but by code. With the Anchor protocol offering nearly 20% yields, billions poured in. By early 2022, Terra Luna was worth over $45 billion, and Do Kwon was crypto's newest rock star.
The idea is that at any given time, you can trade in $1 worth of Terra USD against the protocol for $1 worth of Luna, and then vice versa. So you can sort of think about Luna as absorbing the price volatility of Terra stablecoins.
Second is where the real magic starts to happen. And I contend that Terra solves two of the biggest roadblocks to the adoption of digital payments in Asia and the rest of the world. Up to today, we've had 430,000 shoppers over the Chai Payment Gateway, most of them coming in the last month, and we've processed nearly 2 million transactions up to date.
But in May 2022, trouble began. A wave of withdrawals hit Anchor. UST started slipping from its $1 peg. As investors rushed to redeem UST for Luna, the algorithm kicked into overdrive. Luna's supply ballooned into the trillions, and its price collapsed from over $80 to nearly zero in days. In less than a week, $45 billion in value was wiped out. Entire portfolios evaporated overnight. Faith in algorithmic stablecoins shattered.
stablecoin really stable because the whole idea is that a stablecoin UST is supposed to be equal to $1. It is falling way off the dollar peg and is bringing down a lot of people with it. Now, you have a lot of people, there's a lot of comments, really sad comments on Twitter and on Reddit, people talking about losing their life savings. So a lot of people are really being hurt by this.
This appears to be a hedge fund. We don't know, well, people are naming the hedge fund, but I won't. The trade was instigated by one person, and then we don't know if the momentum was created by collusion. Conspiracy theories would say yes, because it's a massive trade. There was over $1 billion in capital, and then the market is saying that then they ended up going short UST, so they took a massive risk to achieve what they did.
I don't think it's like a morality issue, but it's like coming in from like a loss of this magnitude, and especially touching upon an industry that requires a lot of technical background knowledge to be able to understand. It's just like very hard to process all of that and then come to a balanced conclusion when there's so much pain and anger in the air.
The lesson we get from this is, if in crypto the yield seems too good and the backing is too weak, fragility is built in. Did we miss one of the biggest disasters? Drop it in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications for more deep dives into the world of crypto. So buckle up, because our journey begins now.